Good morning. Let us start with recognition of faults. So, faults are recognized directly in natural exposure such as hillsides, cliffs, riverbanks, cuttings like quarries, trenches, canals, mine workings, and other excavations. However, in most cases, they are deduced from characteristic topographic features, outcrop patterns, drillings, geophysical methods, and other indirect evidences. So, how can we recognize faults in the field or in the map? First of all, for the recognition of fault, we study the characteristics of fault and features of the fault. So, in the field, we can recognize the fault by different ways, that is topography and related features, fault block mountain, fault scraps, foliation, slicken sites, fault scraps, etc. So let's start with field evidences. The first field evidences is your topography and related features, that is topography or geomorphological features like is local or regional. The first is your fault block mountain. The fault block mountain topography and related feature. What is topography and related features? The dislocation of strata along high angle faults and subsequent erosional modification results in distinct topographic and local geological feature. Dislocation means deformation, means disturbance. If any disturbance occurs in a strata, then it will define the fault. The first is your fault block mountain. This is your fault block mountain, and here extensive elevated crustal blocks bounded by high angle fault. Then next is your fault scraps or fault cliffs. If these type of structures appear in the topography, then it is a indication of fault. This structure is known as fault scrap or fault cliffs. The steep sided long straight slopes, sometimes modified by erosion with irregular or triangular faces, is known as fault scraps. An example of fault scrap is western edge of Assam Plateau, and in Western Ghats, western or seaward faces portion indicates fault scraps. Next, long linear ridges or valley or fault embankments suggest horst and graben. This is your also fault block mountain, but one part is your elevated and one part is your basin or depression. This whole fault structure is known as horst and graben, and this belongs to normal fault, and this is also indication of fault. Next, abrupt termination or discontinuity of geologic structures like faults. If discontinuity occurs in the fault, here is one fault and here is another fault, same the discontinuity of fault occurs, so this is the indication of fault by folding structure. Next, shearing of strata, that is dike and veins into blocks with up or down or lateral displacement. If in the rock strata dikes are present or veins are present and these dikes are dislocated, then it is the indication of fault. Then displacement of every very young beds like unconsolidated siltstone, clay stone, and terrace deposits suggest active faults. If the dislocation of clay bed or siltstone or simply unconsolidated young beds are dislocated, then it is indicated as fault. Next, aligned springs along fault line or trace in foothill region like the Ratnagiri hot springs of Maharashtra. Aligned springs also indicate the fault. Next, fault shore line. Straight sea coast like the sea coast of Madagascar. This is fault shore line. Straight sea coast like the west coast of India and east coast of Madagascar. This is also no indication of fault. Fault shore line, straight fault shore line indicates fault. Aligned lakes, this is aligned lake. This is the example of aligned lakes. Swamps, marshes under depression in foothill region indicates. This is the foothill block, so this is the indication of fault. Then zones of Younging granulation and presence of fault breccia, a confused mass of cemented angular slickensites, fragments of rocks from the hanging and foothills sheared off during frictional fault movement present in the fault crevice. Then indication of fault represent the presence of fault breccia on slickenside. This is your slickenside or fracture in the fault plane, and if breccia are present in fault plane, then it is the indication of fault. This fault breccia is known as fault crevice. Then presence of myelonites or microbreccia, a banded of hard compact smooth rock in which the component minerals are pulverized and dragged out, indicates a reverse fault. Next, presence of a horse, a large block dislocated wall rock in the fault fissure, indicates normal fault. This is the dislocation of faults. Then ponded alluvium, this is the alluvium or alluvial fan, and alluvial dislocation of alluvial fan indicates the fault in a pond or river. Magnetic anomaly of faulted blocks, feathered joints if present indicate fault and fault movement. Joints also indicate the presence of fault. Mainly feather joint is more important. This is the feather joint, it's the important indication of fault. If unconformities are present, unconformity means discontinuity between two beds. Later we will discuss about unconformity. So if unconformity is present, then faults are recognized and distinguished by absence of conglomerate bed or rounded boulder and pebbles, and younger beds strike or deep into contact. So in unconformity, if conglomerate unconformity is absent, then it indicates fault. Then normal faulting across river bed causes fault. Then second is your outcrop pattern. First is these all are topography features that indicates fault. Then second is your outcrop pattern. How outcrop pattern indicates fault? First is your dissimilar beds along a fault plane. If outcrop pattern faults are beds are dissimilar, that is younger and older beds are dissimilar. In this fault, see here the second bed is coincides with the first bed. Here is the dissimilar belt along a fault line, so this is a indication of fault. Second is your omission or repetition of outcrop, means in this fault omission of outcrop occur, and in this fault see 1 2 3 4 1 2 up to 9 beds are present, but in due to fault in second bed 1 2 3 4 beds are absent. This is called omission of outcrops. If the beds are repeated, that is suppose here 1 to 9 beds are present, here 1 to 5 beds are present, then again 1 to 5 beds are present, that is called repetition of beds. Then third is your marked difference in the width and position of the beds. Due to faulting, the width and position of the two blocks are different, then it is also a marking of faulting. Then third is your geophysical method. How we determine fault in the field by geophysical method. In geophysical method, two processes are applied. One is your magnetic anomaly of faulted blocks. Second is your resistivity method by presence of electrolytes in solution. Next is your office or laboratory study. Office or laboratory studies. So in map or air photo patterns, how we indicate or determine the fault structure. So in maps or air photo pattern, we determine the fault or distinguish the fault structure by fault trace, or by steep scraps, or by offset of rock beds or truncation of the outcrops, or by offset of stream course, or straight or zigzag courses of rivers and stream like the straight course, or geological maps. Fault are traces were represented by heavy straight or sinuous lines denoted by letter FF or colored white or blue, or generally symbolically we can determine the fault structure in the map. Then another one is method is there in which we can determine or indicate the fault. That is the long line indicate strike and the small line at the right angles at the center of the down through. So next process is your drilling. In drilling process we can determine also faulting of the bed. By the study of progress in drilling, drill core characteristic features, faults are revealed. That is core loss. If core is lost and similar beds at interval at depth, dragging or bending of bedding planes, laminations, bends and or foliation observed along a line in core samples, then it indicates fault. This is a sample from drilling, and this sample showing dragging and bedding of lamination. So this is all about the recognition of fault in field or map or in air photo pattern. So two faults are there, that is active and dead faults. So what is active fault and what is dead fault? Active faults are faults that have been active in the recent past and liable for further movement are called active faults. This is active fault, and also in recent times it is liable for movement. But in dead fault there is sealed off, intact by the deposition of mineral matter, rock fragments and floor, called fault gauge and cementation, thus hindering all possible propagation of fracture and further displacement of fault blocks are called dead or inactive faults. So in this fault or dead fault, further displacement is inactive, but inactive fault further displacement is active. That's why it is called active and it is called inactive fault. Thank you.